Hello, everybody. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you guys in the studios. Having fun. Glad to be back. Took a hot second off there, a little family vacation. Missed you guys. Hope you've had an amazing week. Starting out with an amazing weekend. This is Real Estate with Ryan, where we talk all things real estate. You name it. As long as it's real estate, we're going to talk about it. So we've got a great show for you today. And we'll go over some new news, some congrats, kind of start out. And if you're tuning in for the first time, you can always catch Real Estate with Ryan on a couple different places. You can catch us on News Talk 98.7 at 1 o'clock. Or, of course, Talk Radio 92.3 FM at 11 a.m. And, of course, if you're out with the kiddos and doing the ball games and traveling, don't worry. You can download their apps and catch us on the fly. And, of course, we're on social media, too. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. We've got you covered there. And all the podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, etc. You can catch Real Estate with Ryan. We want to talk about the Knoxville housing market, keeping you up to date with everything that's going on. The Feds just talked about a few minutes ago, right before this show, that they were going to leave the rates unchanged. I know a lot of buyers today and sellers are watching the market. And so, we've talked about this. It's an election year. I keep saying that, but odd things are going to happen. And I think this market is an indicator of odd things happening. So the interest rates today actually went down a little bit. The rates went down to 7.05, 30-year fixed mortgage, and our 15-year rate, 15-year fixed mortgage is 6.5%. So they actually came down a little bit. A lot of guys go, how do they come down? The short answer is a lot of these interest rates and the big banks as a whole, they're anticipating what the Feds are doing. And so sometimes they're padding the interest rates ahead of time to kind of anticipate the market. So they went down a little bit, and that's a good thing for everybody. I saw an article the other day that a lot of people are looking at possibly refinancing or looking to that opportunity. I don't think that market has changed so much on the interest rates. But we're looking probably consistent throughout the rest of the year. A lot of people were wondering where the interest rates are going to change. One of our clients called and said, well, I guess we're stuck like this for the remaining of the year. You know what will happen, guys. They'll probably make an interest rate change August, July, maybe, who knows, September. But in the market as a whole, we've been extremely busy. And a lot of things have been moving in that direction. Let's talk about a little congrats first before I get going. And got some great congrats, new listings. And then we'll talk about what we need to talk about on the show. Got a great show for you, by the way. We're talking about short sales. Thought that was appropriate. Just kind of revisit that topic. We visited that years ago. But if anybody's having a hard time with their property or thinking about needing to sell a property and maybe the numbers aren't there, we just want to dive into short sales, what they are, the pros, the cons, and that's what we're going to talk about today on Real Estate with Ryan. So, new listings, congrats, 3008 Sanderson Road in Knoxville. Great little brick rancher, totally updated, big backyard, fenced backyard. Make sure you check that property out. 7115 Highway 411 in South Greenback. Has almost 3 acres. Basement and a lot of space. It actually has a she shed, believe it or not, true she shed. It was funny. And we were walking through that property. So great property out there. Make sure you check that property out. I've got 2 brand new construction duplexes, 172 and 174 West Meeting Street in Dandridge. You definitely want to check those out. Walking distance to the city and great amenities in the area. Brand new, top of the line finishes. Make sure you check those properties out. And let's see what else. We got a new property on 942 Street of Dreams in Gatlinburg. We just sold one on Street of Dreams over there. And so we have another one that's coming up in the market and now active. So make sure you check that property out. 4812 Hickory Valley Road. That's a unique property. If you got a family, maybe you got siblings or mom coming to move with you, it actually has a second dwelling, so a second home back there. That could be used as a residence on the same property, several acres, with an in-ground pool. Make sure you check that property out. And then we've got 1501 Loudon Highway in Philadelphia, new listing there that you want to check out. I'm going to go in the second half. We've just got a whole lot of stuff to cover. We've been busy this summer, starting in June, and we'll cover the rest of our congrats and new listings on the second half, Real Estate with Ryan. So you can see we've been busy. Busy bees over here. That's what we do. It's that time of the year. It's summer. And as we know, the kiddos are out of school, keeping them busy. And it's been eventful for the Colemans. We've been keeping our kiddos busy. My wife said she's running kids around at Vacation Bible School and so much. And so it's a lot going on. And so the housing market today is different. And so where is the market as a whole? So the market's a little bit sluggish, wouldn't you say? So the market's a little bit slower than the last 60 days, what we've seen. And as a whole, we've seen a lot of buyers try to time the market. And a lot of that's anticipated from the Fed's information or lack of information, right? The Feds lets us know what we're going to do. And obviously a lot of that policy changes to the interest rates. And in today's market, right, everything's so expensive, we want to make sure that we can get the best rate, have more buying power, and put you in a better position. But I think the idea of changing or kind of timing the market is going to make it very difficult for us. And so our suggestion to a lot of our buyers and sellers moving forward is we want to get on the market, we want to get the property sold, and keep in mind that more than likely in the next 12 to 18 months, there's going to be some refinance opportunities. And a lot of lenders have built in those opportunities to make it really, really easy, especially if you're an FHA or a veteran. They have streamlined opportunities to refinance. So what you don't want to do is hold out to kind of save on a half a point. I know it's great. We think it's right around the corner. But the most amount of inventory that's going to be on the market here is coming up in the next 120 days. So don't miss that opportunity that people have to buy and sell. You want to be in the game, per se, right? You want to make sure you're out there looking, because a lot of these properties, regardless of the interest rates, won't be on the market in the fall or winter. So have an opportunity to start that process. And if you haven't started that process, you don't want to call an agent, you're not ready yet, no worries. Download our app. It's Hometown Realty Real Estate. Just look us up, Hometown Realty Real Estate. App Store, any of the app stores, you'll find it. Download it. You'll get our preferred vendors. And, of course, if you need any help, back-end questions are right there. Our team's right there to help you, walk you through that process and make your home buying process smooth. So start that process. I would encourage you to do that. You get daily updates. It's one of the best apps out there, and it's super user-friendly. So that's where I would suggest starting. Let's talk about short sales. And short sales opportunity. If you're buying or selling, what is a short sale? A short sale is where a homeowner needs to sell their property and they to sell it for less than what they owe on the mortgage. Short sale usually takes place and is usually longer than a normal transactions. Short sale is better for the homeowner than facing foreclosure or some kind of alternative method. And so short sale is an opportunity that we have used for years. And there's two factors in the short sale. Number one, does the homeowner need to be so far behind on their payments and they can't catch up and they've had some hardship, maybe like a divorce, natural disaster, death, things like that. Not always, right? Not always. We've done several where you don't have to be behind on your payments. But there's just a hardship. There could be a job loss. There could be some things that are imminent that could be potential problems. And so we've been successful where you're not behind on the payments, but you could have some issues down the road. And obviously, if let's say you've refinanced, or if you, as the market changes a little bit, that the house is worth less than the remaining balance. So a short sale is a great opportunity there to walk you through that process. Now, with a short sale versus a foreclosure, the short sale is where it's voluntarily, where you go to the lender and say, hey, I'm having a hard time. What are kind of options that you have? How do you go through that process? And it's still a typical sale. With a short sale, you're working with the bank and going through that process to kind of navigate through the landscape with that. A foreclosure is totally on the different, where on the other hand, there's a legal process where they really take the property of home ownership back. They foreclose it at the courthouse steps, and it's not voluntary. And so there's a totally two different pronged way to do it. Short sales are opportunities there because it allows you to sometimes even still walk away with some equity, but avoid any kind of foreclosure and some kind of, a foreclosure like that on your credit. So those are really opportunities there. We'll talk about, as we go into the second half, how to do this process of a short sale. What's involved? Do you need a real estate agent? What's going to be required on your end, right? How do you complete it? And if you're buying, right? What to expect on a short sale. Is it something that you're looking for? If we're out there now, typically a short sale could be a good opportunity for a buyer, but do we want to enter into a short sale in the peak seasons? Those are things we want to talk about regarding a short sale as a whole. One thing to think about as a short sale is the market. One of the biggest things that you can do as a seller to think about short selling is getting on the front end if you're seeing problems. If you're seeing that there's an issue, you know that the property values are maybe changing and you owe more than what you think you can bring to the table. Short sale and discussing that with an agent is really good. We got Real Estate with Ryan, second half, coming right back up.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, ma'am.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty.
He says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taken too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you. All right, we're back at it. Real Estate with Ryan, second half. I'm sorry about that. Hey, look, we got cut real short. You get into a topic, especially something in detail, and it's just so hard to timer and everything else. So I'm sorry I was abrupt there. And appreciate y'all staying with us second half. We're talking about short sales. In today's market, if you buy a short sale, how will that affect you? Is that something you want to enter into? And if you're selling, is that an option on the table if you're having some hardship or thinking about maybe you need to sell for a combination of reasons? You owe more than what the home is worth. These are options that we're talking about. I got some congrats. Wanted to make sure that we talk about that before we go too further and I get to talking. All right, so we didn't cover the first half. Got a whole lot of activity going here. It's got 216 Peterson Road, brand new listing in Farragut. Make sure you check that property out. And then we got some land out on Parva Drive. Got 3 lots there, potential building opportunities. Make sure you want to check that out. That's going to be hitting the market pretty soon. And then we got property going live, not active, 1006 Henrietta Drive in Knoxville, coming soon. Congrats to our great pending Spencer Ridge Lane and Hardin Valley under contract. Congrats. 6528 Orchard Creek Lane going under contract. Super congrats to our sellers there, our past clients. And then 1877 Hidden Deer Lane in Knoxville. Congrats. And then we've got, let's see here, 1794 land out in Dandridge. Went under contract, record time. Congrats. Pool Road, 125 Pool Road in La Follette. Congrats. Woodbine went off the market, came back on the market. Now back under contract. Congrats to our great sellers there. And then 334 West Ford Valley in Knoxville, under contract. And our great sellers, couldn't forget, 902 Chickamauga Avenue. Wyatt's avid listeners to the radio station. I just can't appreciate you as much. You guys worked with us, just a wonder to deal with. And congrats and thanks for choosing us to help you with such a big move. Kingston Avenue, great sellers that relocated out of Oliver Springs. Congrats on your sale. And Ridgecrest Road, vacant land that we have out there. And sold it pretty quickly, so congrats. So you can see we're busy. It is summertime. Regardless of the interest rates, the market's moving. East Tennessee market is hot. But in some markets and in some places, we see a little bit of a cool down. And we're talking about sellers. We say, okay, Ryan, what are we going to do? So sometimes your guess is as good as mine, right? But the answer is we got to work together as a team. As the market changes a little bit, feds give us no love is what I would say, no help at all. The rates are going to be where they are. And so we still have a lot of opportunity in today's marketplace. We're going to look at pricing and a lot of different things in the marketplace. I think the number one thing, if you're selling, making sure you're getting with your agent. Make sure you're getting the right advice on the front end. We're seeing that a lot of things that are not selling, having issues. Some of the things, marketing's not where it needs to be. The guidance on the front end is not there. So as we approach the half of the year, so it's hard to believe that make sure you get the right opinion. And of course, when you do anything like that, always good to get a second opinion. And that's why we would always encourage you to reach out to us or anybody. But of course, we'd always love an opportunity to talk to you and share with you what we do over here. Been doing it 25 years and love to help you in any way we can. Our office number is 693-SOLD. Or if you want to check me out online, it's ryancoleman.org. And that's .org, sorry. And love to help you any way we can. And got a great team of people here that care. Really committed about the process. Buying or selling a property is a big move, and especially in today's economy, you need a group that has your back, and we definitely do have your back. So, all right, 60-second vol update real quickly. Make it quick. We know that the baseball team is in Omaha, and it's going to be a potential opportunity. We're not sure who they're going to play, Virginia, North Carolina, but it's a really, really big game coming up, and so root our Vols on. It's super exciting watching them play here in Knoxville. I know a lot of you guys had an opportunity to go to the games, and exciting to see what our Vols are doing. Football team's working. Hard to believe in 60 days. Men will be back in Healing, right? And then our men's basketball team just started practice back. So a lot of things moving in Vol Nation. So as you know, Hometown Realty is a proud sponsor of the Vols, and if we could be of any help, we're always here for you. Go Big Orange. All right, I was talking back about short sales. And the difference between a short sale and foreclosure, and what is better? Obviously, neither one of them is the best option, right? If you can sell the traditional way, that's always an opportunity to do that. But sometimes most people have not heard of a short sale or to know that that's even an option. And a short sale is always something that we would encourage versus a foreclosure. A short sale as a whole is basically where the lender is going to settle and take maybe a little bit less. They're not encouraging or incurring, foreclosure fees or any kind of other fees. If there's late fees and things like that, they write those off and then they settle the balance. So let's just say you owed $300,000, you could only sell it for $290,000, right? Plus fees and cost. Then they'll end up settling it for that amount. You may not walk away with a whole lot or anything, but it does settle your balance. And they report that on your credit report as settled, not a foreclosure. And the process to get back into home ownership is very, very easy compared to a foreclosure. So those are things to think about. Get with a great agent that has experience with short sales, foreclosures, to guidance. Obviously, that's a personal decision what you want to do. If you're thinking about doing a short sale, as I was talking about in the first segment of the show, you want to do that early on. Get with your agent, and some of the things that you'll need is obviously some information that the lender is going to require. Each lender is going to be different. Our lenders usually require, basically a statement or a letter of what is your hardship. It has to be true hardship, right? Not just that for some reason I don't want to pay the debt, right? But there has to be some hardship, and then you're going to be required to turn in your tax returns, W-2s, and then kind of any sourcing of funds or retirement of funds there that maybe you have or don't have. Understanding that process is key. Now, the short sale process is a lengthy process, and it's a frustrating process, especially if you're dealing with a lender that is a servicer. So if you understand, a servicer is just where they've sold that loan. Let's say you had Wells Fargo, and all of a sudden it gets sold to, I don't know who, Chase Bank or somebody else. They're going to send you a letter and say, we're servicing the loan. The true lender is probably Fannie Mae and Wells Fargo, but you're servicing the loan. They're going to be doing the servicing, and they will be doing the short sale documentation for the main lender. So it's important that you get in front of your lender or servicer and get all those items in request in writing. All those are going to be sent in something called a short sale package to the lender. You need to make sure that you're staying on top of them. Do a short sale, you do need a agent, a real estate licensed broker or agent to help you through that process. The owners are not allowed to do those on their own. I guess, I'm not sure why, but it seems a little bit more complex, and it's just easier to be streamlined with the lenders. Partner with a great agent. Understand that process and know that it may take some time. A lot of times they're going to require a purchase and sale on the front end. Sometimes when you're listing the property, if you do have the property on the market, you're going to need to include certain terms, like subject to third-party approval. All right, so any contracts that you enter in, make sure that they're subject to the third-party approval, meaning your lender. Now, sometimes this could be frustrating and very difficult. Sometimes in the buyers, we're going to talk about the buyers, how to keep a buyer along and keep them engaged in the process, and not lose them towards the end, because it's subject to third-party approval. Sometimes the buyers have an opportunity to walk, and so these are things that we want to talk about. So if you're a buyer, right, some things to be looking at: do your research, understand really this process is who's calling the shots. The lender is ultimately for the seller making the ultimate decision, so you do need to do that. And you're always going to be encouraged to do an inspection. But if you do an inspection, it probably is pretty wise that you make that inspection subject to the approval of the third party. That way you're not out $400 or $500 on short sales and cost and inspections just to find out that the lender didn't approve the deal. If the seller's in bankruptcy, things like that, these are things as a buyer you need to know that could delay the process. Make sure that your agent is the agent that you're working on, the listing agent that you're working on, is competent and understands the process of short sales, meaning that they're very confident on the process. And if you have an agent, make sure they're working together, and make sure you as a buyer that you have really a good feel in the market on that. Because if you don't feel good that there's a good handle on this, then you may spend a lot of time missing out on other properties waiting for this particular property. As we close down on this show, short sales are always an opportunity. We're going to have more information about this on our website. You can visit us at ryancoleman.org. We'll have all the questions, articles, third parties that can give you some more information about that. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. And if you need anything, you can always catch us here at Real Estate with Ryan. Have a great weekend. Look forward to seeing you next weekend. Take care.